Today we are back at Shenantaha Creek Park for a round of disc dice. If you don't know what disc dice do, there's these two dice here that have how you have to throw it and the type of disc you have to throw. There is also a wild card on both of them, but really we're gonna see how this goes. Definitely gonna take me out of my comfort level on this course. It's pretty wet out today, so rollers could be tough. There's definitely been some wind coming in and out, so that could hurt some understable stuff. All right, so hole one, 306 feet par 4. And we are starting off with a roller and a wild card. So roller, wild card, I'm gonna start off with my Buzz OS. I'm gonna try a forehand roller, hopefully get it up towards the OB and roll down by the basket. I did not get that one up high enough and it rolled down towards the weeds. As you can see, the disc is down here, basket is still way up there. That did not go as planned. And we have forehand mid, so that's actually not ideal. You definitely want something that's going to finish back to the left, but I think we can make this work. So for the forehand mid, I'm going to go with the sole because it should fight some of that right to left. Try and get it on an anti-release and get something up by the basket so we can put this away for par. So that ended up turning into a roller. It's in the woods past the basket. Still a chance to putt and save the par. So we ended up rolling down into the woods behind this stump. We're left with a roughly 20 footer or so with a kind of tight window, but it's definitely still makeable. And there's the par save. So we're sitting at even through one. We're at the tee of hole 2, which is a 360 foot par 3 OB path again. And we have a understable forehand. For the understable forehand on hole 2, I'm gonna go to my ESP Avenger SS. That flipped over and came down on a roller angle. Really gave it a chance to stand back up. Made it about halfway down the fairway and caught a little bit of the sticks on the side. Should be slightly off the fairway. So we are a little further off the fairway than I thought. Just in front of that big pile of logs. Now we have the wild card and a mid, so that's honestly probably the best case scenario. So for this throw, I'm going to go with the understable Michael Johansson Comet. So we ended up just up there on the hill behind the trees, about a 15-20 footer or so to save the par. Trouble off the tee on both holes, still even though through 2. So we are on hole 3. It is a 201 foot par 3 tunnel shot. The dice could be very mean here. We have Anheuser driver. For this, I'm going to go with my Z Flex Raptor. So I found the disc. We are definitely in jail. Disc is right over here. The basket is between these trees over here. You might just be able to see the band. And of course, we have to roll the dice again to see how to get out of this. And we have a roller and a wild card. I'm really not even sure how I'm gonna get out of this with a roller, but I'm gonna take the Buzz OS and try and forehand roller something through the trees and try and get to the bottom of the hill for a putt. Actually got a decent skip and may have skipped all the way down to the little creek. So we did make it down to the creek. You can kind of see the disc over there. Basket is way up there between the trees. This is going to take some work for sure, but we're at least, I think, in circle 2, so we don't have to roll the dice. Right under the basket to save the bogey, but 1 over through 3. Clean up for the bogey. So now we are at hole 4. The dice have definitely claimed their first victim in hole 3. Now we have an understable forehand. I would love to throw a forehand on this. With a headwind right now, understable is definitely not what I would pick. For the understable forehand, I'm going to go with Discraft Hades. Hopefully the stability at the end will help. So I found the disc over here underneath this tree that I don't remember being down. Hopefully we can find something to get us out of here. We have a mid roller. Dice are really loving throwing rollers at me today. So for the mid roller shot, I'm gonna go with my Z Buzz. Try and get something that we can put at least an attempt on. So we ended up over here under this tree. We have backhand mid. Lots of headwind right now for this. I'm gonna end up throwing the Buzz that is already up there. So I'm gonna mark this and see if we can throw one in. So we've left ourselves another 15, 20 footer to take our second bogey in a row. A little bit of a cross/headwind. So this will be a little bit of a pressure. So now on to hole 5, which is a 387-foot par 3. We have another roller, this time with a mid. So we're gonna go back to the sole just because it's the most understable mid I have in my bag. Try and throw it on roller angle. As you can see, I came down in the fairway. Forehand putter. So we're gonna forehand the zone right here. Honestly, that might have been what I would usually pick from here. So that ended up being even better than I had thought. Not just a putt, it's a tap in. So this is hole 6, is a 275-foot par 3. Big tree straight ahead is a mandatory. You do have to go to the right of it. And the basket from here, you're really not going to be able to see. But the sign on the tennis court is in a straight line back behind that. On the other side of all of those trees. Let's see what the dice have me do here. Understable roller. So So with this being an understable roller, I'm gonna go forehand roller with the Avenger SS. Hope I can get something down and around the trees and curled up nicely. So made the Mando, but ended up in front of the trees, but I think we do have a gap towards the basket. Well, like I said, we did make the mandatory route. We ended up rolling down here to where we actually have a really nice straight through to the basket. We have overstable backhand. For the overstable backhand here, we're gonna go back to the zone. A little bit more of a skip than we would like, but there's still a putt. So we got a lot more skip than I had thought. Still about a 30-footer to save the par. That was just a bad putt. So we did go long on that one for the par save. Should be an easy cleanup for the bogey. Hole 7 is a 203-foot par 3. Winds down this tunnel. Back to the right, there is a creek long. It does drop off right behind the basket towards that creek. It does play as casual. We are throwing a wild card driver. Move the camera a little over so you can see the basket straight down that tunnel. For the wild card driver, I'm going to go with the fairway driver, Star Leopard. Try and throw this on a little flip up forehand. It flipped up, was well off its line though, definitely off the fairway. We're gonna roll again. Basket is straight down through these trees. Try and make this fun. We have understable wild card. That's pretty good. For the understable wild card, I'm going to try to forehand up the Big V Fierce. We can actually stretch this out pretty nicely, so this is not bad at all. That did finish off a little bit to the right still. Should be a very makeable putt though. Save the par. Still 4 over through 7. So we're at hole 8, which is a 258-foot par 3. Basket is straight down between the trees over here. There is a forehand and backhand line. So this is one, as long as we don't get roller, there should be options. We have Anheuser driver. So going with the Anheuser driver, I'm taking the Passion because it's neutral flying. I'm gonna try and take the left-hand gap, get something down through the trees, finish hopefully somewhere up by the Hermit Rock for the putt. Definitely off the line for throwing Annie. It felt really good. If I would have had the run up correctly and aimed myself, I think that would have been a really good shot. So we actually came down right in the middle. Back to the dice. We have wild card mid. So for the wild card mid, I'm gonna go with just the normal buzz. Try to take it straight down the tunnel towards the basket. So we did get some kick off of the tree. The basket is up there. Disc is down there. So here's the roughly 15-footer we left ourselves. Clean up the bogey. Tap in to clean up the double bogey. 6 over through 8. We are at hole 9. This is an uphill 192 foot par 3. Basket is just behind this tree straight ahead of us. So you can see it right there. Back to the dice. We have wild card driver. Gonna go with the Discraft Raptor overstable driver on a forehand. A little higher than I wanted. I think I caught a tree towards the end, kicked me further out to the right than I would like to be. Should be a tester of a putt though. I definitely hit a tree earlier than I had thought. Left myself with a roughly 40 footer for the birdie. We do need to get a stroke back. Sailed that one with the wind. Left myself a 15-20 footer to save par. Managed to save the par. That really should never have been a question.